You'll be a holiday hero for years to come. Windows made to fit your home perfectly take about 4 to 6 weeks. Call 469 Windows. That's 469 Windows, or visit BestBuyWindowsInsider.com today. Swing into action for a great cause. Join us for the first annual Swing for the Future golf tournament on October 28th at the stunning Brookhaven Country Club. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this tournament is for everyone. Play for prize money, enjoy a delicious lunch and dinner, and be part of our exciting trophy presentation. With cash prizes of up to $2,500 for the winners, you won't want to miss this. Sign up now at 1053thefan.com and swing for a brighter future for youth in the Metroplex. Thank you to our sponsors, Hernandez Law, Sosa Clinic, Window Nation, Dodge City of McKinney, and Versa Printing. We're here at Genesis of Plano, part of the Huffines Auto family, for their 100th year and asking customers to sing the jingle.
Huffines has it.
So, what was the it for you?
For me, the it was convenience. I was able to trade in my car and get a new one so fast.
And when you visit Genesis of Plano, get low APR financing on luxurious new G70 sedans, GV70s, and GV80 SUVs. Start at genesisofplano.com.
Shop here by your friends over at Zerorez. How's that carpet look? Same healthy for your home? No, and no, you got to get the RJ Chopping Fan Special. Great offer for you right now. 3 rooms, pre-treated, cleaned and sanitized for $109, and then $75 off your air duct cleaning with the promo code DUCT75. Get ready for the spooky season. Eliminate all those dirt spots. Give them a call. 214-37-CLEAN. 214-372-5326 or ZerorezDallas.com.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know, to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Hold on, shit.
Yeah, checking yours is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double frog, double bump, double hot, double whip, double sweet? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year? Well, I do now. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/credit.
If you want to buy a brand new car, if you need to buy a brand new car, the one-stop shop for you is Platinum Chevrolet in Terrell. That's why in the last 3 years, my family's bought not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 cars from Platinum Chevrolet.
Good morning, Joe. How's it going, Dexter? Fadi? What's going on? Good morning. I'm leaving the gym. I'm going to work out in. Shout out to Dexter. Anybody in Texas? Hey, don't forget to sub. Don't forget to sub, but hit the like button. I appreciate it. Mates. Germany, what's up, Germany? Shout out to Germany. Hey, don't forget to sub, mates.
Make Carter laugh.
I'm out of Texas.
Okay. Because he's missed out on the show for a minute, so getting that dude to be like, oh yeah, this is why I love working with.
Near Dallas.
Because we're the only show we worked with, I think. I'm pretty sure you didn't hear about any of the other shows.
I can't pronounce it. Alpic.
We bring him double.
It's morning over here. It's like 10 o'clock. It's 10:03 actually. I'm leaving the gym, so I had to get my workout in.
It's so
Cardio.
Just a peach dumping.
And it's sweet.
Is this how it's going to be all day? Said it was right.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was nice and firm.
I thought it was like when I drained some of the juice.
Yeah.
Before starting off the process. So I drained some of the peach juice.
Okay. And like if you started a doughy business and that's all you did, you can sell out every day.
Every day. And it's very easy to make.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Pre?
Austin met with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky during a visit to the capital city, announcing a $400 million military package. The drawdown includes air defense systems, Javelin anti-tank systems, mortar rounds, wire-guided missiles, and communications equipment. Austin told Zelensky the U.S. remains committed to supporting Ukraine, but questions about sustained U.S. spending in Ukraine's war with Russia have been raised should former President Trump win re-election in November. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
The Dow was down 282 points, NASDAQ down 50.
Numbers to dial. You gon' be here for a while. I'm gon' call my crew. Go call your crew. We can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave. Throw the keys to little C's. Pull the truck up front and roll up the next one so we can see.
Show comes on. 800-288-WBAP is our number. It's 800-288-9227. We are talking about early voting. I'm going to be honest with you.
Early voting, I need to go vote.
Talking about early voting. We were talking about
I need to early vote. We're going to do that today.
And the concept of early voting really bothers me. Unusual. So actually, I might have a problem. But either way, I don't think that people should wander out. I think there should be an absolute definite reason, like you have no arms and legs in order for you to and no one to take you, so you have to roll to get to the polling place, whatever the case may be. That's what I think should get you there. If you're just voting early because there's something really good on TV that day, whatever the reasons people use, and I'm pretty sure those are the reasons, TV, that people are going to vote because it's the day it is. We know when the day is. It was always on this day. I know it changes, but the date changes. But it was always on this day, and somehow we all managed to make it there. I think the early voting phenomenon now is more for corruption purposes and because people just don't want to schedule their time when it comes to engaging in democracy. But I want to know if you're in favor of it. I think we should, like I said, do it.
Why? You know, as early voting begins today in Texas, it certainly helps to prepare in advance so you don't get overwhelmed at the polling place, assuming you know where that polling place is. Are you ready, Texas? If you're not so sure, well, we've got you covered. And here to help us on that score, Natalia Contreras, who reports for VoteBeat and the Texas Tribune. Natalia, welcome back.
Hi, good morning.
Exciting day across the state. I suppose first things first, how can people find a polling place for early voting?
Well, the cool thing about early voting is that it's 2 weeks long, but also that you can vote anywhere in the county. And every county in Texas, every elections department in Texas will have a list of the available early voting locations. So I think that voters today should start looking that up and looking at, where the county elections departments say that, it's available for them to go vote near their neighborhood or work.
Do you have to cast your ballot in your county of residence? That is to say, if I'm at the local grocery store and I'm not sure if I'm technically districted for this, zone for this particular grocery store, is that okay? I can go ahead and cast my ballot so long as I'm in my county of residence, or how does that work?
That's right. During early voting, there's a ton of options for voters. So I think that's the best thing that you could do is just go to your polling location. One of the polling locations that's available, ask a clerk. I mean, if you registered within the time frame that was given, you have a ton of options. So yes, that's possible to do.
Okay, what if I don't have that voting card that I received in the mail several weeks back? Maybe I never got the doggone card. Do you need to make sure to have that card with you, or what do you need to have?
So you don't have to have that card with you, but I think that if you register and you never got that card in the mail, that yellow and white little postcard in the mail, you should call your elections department just to make sure that you are on the voter rolls. But if you don't have that, you can still go to the polling place. What you do need to bring to cast your ballot, though, is a photo ID. And there's a list of photo IDs that you can use at votetexas.gov. That's the Secretary of State's office website that has a ton of resources. But even if you don't have a photo ID, you can still, during early voting, like I said, you have options. You can still cast a provisional ballot. You would have to fill out a form. But, I mean, you should be sure that you have that photo ID if you can. If you don't, there's still options for you.
Okay, so when we're talking photo ID, of course, we're talking about the driver's license, a personal ID card issued by the state. You can use a handgun license. You can use a citizenship certificate issued by the federal government with a photo. A passport works. A military ID card, U.S. military ID card works. And this provisional ballot, I think there's something that's called the reasonable impediment declaration or something like that. You can present a kind of alternative form of ID, like utility bill, and then they double check the records and make sure that you're all clear.
Yeah, or even that yellow and white postcard certificate that you should have gotten after you register. You can also bring that to show your name and your address, and you should be good to go. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that a lot of times folks that are from out of state worry that they're not able to register or even cast their ballot with their out of state ID, and you can totally do that. You can register with out of state ID. Because you can also use your social security number. So that ID would also work at the polls if you were able to register.
What do you need to keep in mind that you shouldn't do in line? Like, for instance, if you're wearing a red cap with a certain saying on it, is that a no-go? You're going to be pulled out of the line? Or how does that work?
That is a no-go. If you bring in clothing that has any support for a specific candidate or a proposal on the ballot, the polling location supervisors, we got to remember that they have the authority of a district judge. I mean, they are the people that, make sure that everything is running smoothly there. And so it's illegal in Texas to come in and wear something that shows support for a candidate, whether that's for Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter, a proposal on the ballot. You should maybe just think about that before you go in there, because that could cause some issues for you. Within 100 feet of the polling location, if you're outside, if you're, promoting a candidate, promoting a certain measure on the ballot, that's totally fine, as long as you're within 100 feet. Another thing I wanted people to remember about going into the polling place, I know that we're all excited to cast our ballot. I know that we are all excited to go vote. No phones are allowed. No selfies with your ballot. No selfies in the polling place with your I voted sticker. Just wait until you get far away from the polling location to do that. Because that could also cause some issues for you.
Yeah, don't be getting in trouble. There are a couple of terrific resources: votetexas.gov, and of course our own website, texasstandard.org, where we'll have a whole lot more answers to questions about how to vote and prepare to vote. We've been speaking with Natalia Contreras, who reports for VoteBeat and the Texas Tribune. Natalia, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much again.
To that U.S. Senate race between Republican incumbent Ted Cruz and his Democratic challenger, Congressman Colin Allred. We're going to be profiling both of them, and we start today with Cruz, who's seeking third term as U.S. Senator. Andrew Schneider of Houston Public Media has more.
Ted Cruz has opposed legalized abortion throughout his political life, so it's significant that as he runs for re-election in the wake of the Supreme Court's repeal of Roe v. Wade, he's trying to deflect questions about where he stands on Texas's abortion ban, as in this interview on KHOU.
Are you okay with no exception for rape and incest in the state of Texas?
Well, that's a question the state legislature
What
is
does
going to
Ted
decide.
Cruz think?
I think it is up to the voters of Texas to decide that.
What do you?
I recognize you don't like that answer, but that's my answer anyway.
I'm trying to get an answer.
I am giving you an answer.
Cruz is not known for pulling his punches. Take his stance in February on the Senate border bill, which was meant to be bipartisan, but which ultimately failed in the face of overwhelming Republican Republican opposition.
My views on this bill have not been worst rate of illegal immigration in our nation's history. People are dying. Children are being brutalized. Women are being sexually assaulted. Over 100,000 people died of overdoses last year. This bill doesn't fix it.
Despite Cruz's rhetoric, FBI data show violent crime is down, and research shows illegal immigrants in Texas are arrested at less than half the rate compared with native-born U.S. citizens for violent and drug crimes.
He's a bomb thrower.
Stephen Smith,
He's
a
a bomb
political
thrower.
scientist at Washington University in St. Louis, says Cruz is one of the most conservative Republicans in the Senate. That sometimes puts him crosswise with his own party's leadership, especially when it comes to voting on funding bills known as continuing resolutions, needed to avoid a government shutdown.
In 2023, Senator Cruz was one of 9 Republicans who opposed the continuing resolution. And it put him out there on the far right.
Which isn't to say Cruz can't be constructive. Vanderbilt University's Alan Wiseman, who co-directs the Center for Effective Lawmaking, puts Cruz in the middle of the pack when it comes to his ability to get legislation passed.
It's also the case that in general, he seems to be more high-performing compared to other Republicans when he's in the minority party, which is somewhat unusual, actually.
A case in point is when he worked with Washington Democrat Maria Cantwell to approve investments of over $4 billion in airports across the country, including Texas. He also worked with South Texas Democrats to build or widen bridges to Mexico.
By expanding this bridge, by creating more lanes for commerce, the trucks can move more quickly, the goods can get to the customers faster, which lowers prices for consumers, and they pollute a whole lot less when they don't sit in a parking lot for hours waiting on the traffic jam.
Stephen Smith says these examples are notable because it's so rare to see him in a cooperative mood. He usually only works with other Republicans.
That, of course, may have something to do with the fact that he was facing a potentially difficult re-election bid.
Some believe he's softening his image to win over undecided voters. The latest poll from the University of Houston's Hobby School of Public Affairs shows Cruz with a 4-point lead over Colin Allred among likely voters. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
For more on Senator Ted Cruz's record, check out this story at texasstandard.org and make sure to tune in tomorrow.
Why did Mike Vesey go against
Cruz's Democratic
Vesey
challenger,
ain't stupid.
Congressman Colin Allred.
Why did he pick him on Mike Vesey? Mike Vesey been Congressman all longer. He's
The Texas Standard Shelley
Because he
Brisbane
don't
in for Wells
because he know he can't
Dunbar.
win.
The talk of Texas on this first day of early voting. Shelley, what you catching online?
Well, David, a lot of the chatter I'm seeing online is about early voting, which we
why
heard
they
about
stuck
at the
him out
top
there
of the
until
show.
he can win out.
New York Times is out and about in Texas, and they checked out some polling places in San Antonio and Houston, and they saw long lines this first day of early voting. Some of those had to do with enthusiasm from voters, and some of them had to do with some voting machine issues. And obviously, the Texas Standard and the Texas Newsroom is going to keep an eye on that issue going forward. A lot of enthusiasm online, though, as well, from individuals on Blue Sky. Asher Hellbean says, "I voted, felt great, go do it." On X, Allison in Galveston, I love the handle, answered my question about voting early. She said, "Yes, I almost always vote early. Why would you not vote early? You never know what will happen in life, so might as well get it done." And a lot more out there from folks who are excited about early voting in Texas and in states across the country, David.
Shelley Brisbane monitoring the talk of Texas online today. She'll be back with more listener comments in about 35 minutes or so. How long would it take to reach the Orion Solar Belt? Well, if you're in Waco, about an hour or so.
Oh, Lord.
We'll hear about a constellation of a surprising
Might as well vote now. I didn't realize it was gonna be
buzz.
a
Keyword
line out the
generated.
door.
We'll have that and a whole lot more as the Standard continues.
Support for Texas Standard comes
Oh
from
man, they
Texas
got a line at the
Oncology,
door.
helping patients reduce the risk of breast
I
cancer
realize that.
through healthy lifestyle choices and regular mammograms. Discussions about family health history with physicians help determine personal screening needs. More at texasoncology.com.
I was like, wow.
You're listening to 90.1 KERA News. I'm Della Cyrus. The Texas Supreme Court has rejected the state attorney general's request to reconsider its order to delay the execution of Robert Robertson. Yesterday's decision means Robertson could testify before a Texas House committee about his conviction. We'll have the latest on this story. Listen on 90.1 KERA News or on the KERA app.
there, I'm Andrew Garcia. Join me for the news of North Texas and beyond on Morning Edition, every weekday morning from 4 to 9 on 90.1 KERA News.
There's a lot at stake this year. From your local representatives
To the presidential race.
90.1 KERA News
And KERA News.
your source for complete election coverage.